Here's the
uplifting.
thing, it's not our world.
None
That's
of
the
this is
key.
real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Then I watched everybody like talking 1,000 miles an hour up there receiving their awards, and I was like, I'm dead.
They said Gucci Mane isn't really Gucci Mane. That's Hobson. They gave him plastic surgery to become Gucci Mane. And now they saying Damar Hamlin isn't Damar Hamlin. And if you ever watched the TV show The Boys, you know about Noir. You know how Noir died, but they had somebody else come back to play him. That's crazy.
You saying that you think they take people out and clone?
Jim Carrey recently came up in Paris looking and talking radically different, and it's the same thing folks remarked about Kanye last year. Why is it that every time a celebrity begins speaking out against the business, they suddenly come up looking and behaving different, taking back everything they said? Who was the individual trying to be Jim Carrey at the 2026 César Awards?
Yeah, if they're telling you that there's no clones, the guy telling you is probably a fucking clone. At this, we do that to people. They can't.
Days ago, Jim Carrey resurfaced at the 2026 César Awards after months of not being seen in public, and he looked drastically different. This was the first time Jim Carrey had been seen in public since November of last year, and fans couldn't believe how dramatically he had changed. His mannerisms, his coloring, the hue of his eyes, and even the way he talked, everything about him seemed different. The creases on his face seemed gone, and even his bone structure looked transformed.
Bonjour. Oh, it's a wonderful feeling. I really took on a pretty big challenge trying to do my speech in French. So, I wrote it and I researched it and I practiced it like crazy. But, it's, then I watched everybody like talking 1,000 miles an hour up there receiving their awards. And I was like, I'm dead.
Some admirers thought that possibly Jim Carrey had underwent cosmetic surgery. But here's the thing, cosmetic surgery doesn't alter the color of your eyes. And even if Jim Carrey was wearing contact lenses and had jaw surgery, the way this individual spoke didn't match Jim Carrey at all. For the previous several years, Jim Carrey has grown disillusioned of the entertainment world and said many times that he was getting ready to depart. He had also quit attending award presentations, and at one time even termed them the most useless thing he could think of.
There's no meaning to any of this, so I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
And we need to be clear, shamelessness is not and will never be a superpower. It is the mark of a villain. Kidnapping is not what great nations do.
Is that a gang sign? Have you...
you don't know what it is.
Now compare this version of Jim Carrey to the one we saw at the recent César Awards. Many individuals online think they do not appear like the same person. According to speculations, Jim Carrey was replaced with a clone. Jim has been raising the alarm about what goes on behind the scenes in the entertainment business for years. After Diddy's arrest, others alluded to Jim's earlier statements regarding humiliation rituals, cult-like behavior, and casting couch culture in Hollywood. This new version of him, however, appeared unable to stop gushing about how much he loved that same business.
There's a huge conspiracy theory about beloved Hollywood actor Jim Carrey right now because people are saying he's acting and looking very different. Did the Illuminati finally get their loudest whistleblower and clone him, thus silencing him? This is like two conspiracy theories in one, so here's everything you need to know.
I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower.
So yesterday, 64-year-old Jim Carrey received a César Award in Paris, which is like a French Oscar. And he was just suspiciously acting out of character for the iconic Jim Carrey personality. And longtime fans also noticed he looked younger or very different. And for a lot of actors in Hollywood, that's the norm. He's 64. I support people getting work done. But a lot of conspiracy theorists who are really just diehard fans say normally Jim Carrey would never do this. His whole brand is drastically changing his facial expressions and melding his face into whatever he needs to do for his role. It's just the last person you would ever expect to do that. But what's really freaking people out and driving home the conspiracy theory is that his eyes are a completely different color now. They are green, but they used to be very obviously brown. Is it him? Is someone new under the mask? And Jim Carrey is infamous for his whole career long time giving very powerful speeches against government corruption, against capitalism, against those in power.
Once footage of Jim Carrey began going viral, many argued that maybe this was a YouTuber or prankster claiming to be Jim. Alexis Stone, a well-known makeup artist who was purportedly referenced in connection with the accusations, subsequently made it plain that this was not the case. Fans then started looking back at indications from some of Carrey's past interviews. In one interview, Jim even stated that he occasionally utilizes a body double.
Now, we were talking about Jim's problem with the as he calls them, the stalkerazzi.
This is the
because
phrase that I coined.
They stalk you. He coined that. He came up with that.
Yeah.
So how do you handle it? What is the solution? Because a lot of folks would be interested in this. What do you do?
I've done this a few times now, and it's using a decoy.
I'm sorry, a decoy?
Using a decoy. It sounds so ridiculous, but it works like a charm.
Like a double.
It's fantastic.
Like a Jim Carrey double.
A Jim Carrey double.
Well, yeah, that's amazing.
So what I do is I send him off in one direction, sucks all the press in that direction, and I can just have my day. And
whatever you want to
go
do.
Wherever I want, totally unmolested. It's fantastic.
Right.
And,
well, they say the best ideas are the simplest ones, and this really couldn't be more simple.
It really is amazing.
I'm sure it works.
really works.
This wasn't a body double, however. People online stated it seemed different, more evil. First, they contended that the real Jim Carrey was nowhere to be seen. Second, they stated this version of Jim appeared to go against everything the old Jim stood for. In past interviews, Jim Carrey frequently hinted at his hatred for the business and talked of individuals being controlled by big forces. However, during the occasion, he looked enthused about acting and the entertainment business. Things were so hot that even other celebrities were brought into the conversation. Megan Fox allegedly reacted on Instagram, writing, "I can't handle any more stress right now. I need to know whether this is real." One tweet describing the issue read, "Jim Carrey was once about peace, meditation, and disclosure. This interview is why he was assassinated and replaced. They offered him an option of going to jail for his girlfriend's overdose or being controlled. He selected cloning. They slaughtered him nevertheless, and made him a horrible puppet."
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh, I like it.
It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know? And they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things. And, you know, and you know, look at him trying to...
This hypothesis may seem insane, yet some individuals point to statements from famous celebrities and claim similar patterns keep emerging. Kanye West recently warned that if he ever came back looking and talking differently, it wouldn't be him, and later followers believed they witnessed just that. They argue it follows the same playbook every time. A celebrity becomes disillusioned with money and fame, starts exposing what they believe happens behind closed doors, then suddenly disappears from public view for a while, and returns looking different, often defending the same industry they once criticized. Many people claim that's why they equate this circumstance to what Kanye was saying before he left.
It's like, we're gonna take your money, we're gonna block you, we're gonna do this, we're gonna take your life. Like a lot of, my life has been through, I wake up every day just surprised to be alive. like because of how many threats I got from political to, you know, Twitter commentary to all that, just like going through, just to be like, boom, I'm exposed because the first step to cleaning up something is like people be like, man, there's some smell, it just smell like that. It's like, have you checked under that couch? But nobody want to lift up that couch. And when you go to lift up the couch, the whole industry is like, stay away from that couch. Yeah. We found out that my trainer was a MK Ultra Canadian intelligence.
He worked in the defense research and development in the Canadian military, essentially working on psyops in the Canadian military. This is Harley Pasternak.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me, and they when I asked them how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly, it took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears you. I mean, look at
they would have Michael Jackson
or worse, yeah.
So look,
and then people refer to how Kanye acted once he got back, everything with Bianca, and how different he appeared. According to those claims, it was the folks behind the clone attempting to tarnish Kanye's reputation. They contend he was suddenly doing things Kanye had stated he would never do or say, while the whole business branded him as unstable. The same person many previously regarded insightful and turned to for direction was now being rejected as simply another crazy celebrity.
Phony! The phony would clone me! Just watch how they cloned me! Hey, look at me, saw me!
I was Ye, and then they started making more Ye's.
I think Kanye is a clone. I wholeheartedly believe what I'm about to say. I think there are clones, and I'm going to tell you why. Remember, he was really talking a lot. The cabal didn't like that, you know? The Illuminati, the cabal, they did not like how much he was saying. He was calling a lot of people out, and he said, if I go away and I come back and I look different, that is not me.
If I ever went anywhere, we'd know why.
What the happened? He was gone.
He did that because he wanted to gain weight. I would do that too. I'm going to do that next summer.
Look at him. Compare old photos of him. It's not the same in person. It's not. Don't cancel me, Hollywood.
How do you think that these people would hide that, Kristen? If somebody tried to clone you, I would scream it from the top of the mountains like that's not Kristen.
You literally will get...
Oh my goodness gracious.
I believe this with every ounce in my body.
The most talked about element was how Kanye agreed to go back on his meds. In past interviews, Kanye stated people were attempting to drug him into silence and that he would rather die than return to medicine. Now, according to admirers following these hypotheses, he is back on his medicine and apologizing to those in the profession he formerly ridiculed. Many say this is not the type of thing they ever anticipated Kanye to accomplish. That is why some admirers label this version of Kanye a clone. One tweet even remarked, "This is not Kanye, this is a clone." The guy recently dubbed himself the new Jesus, and I thought to myself, that's it, we've lost him. But I can't ignore what my eyes are seeing. This ain't him. Fight me.
I would rather be dead, not in jail, because I'd rather be dead than to be on medication. No one from the family has taken any responsibility for my hospital visit, but if we were to go on mine, that's 50% of what people say at least. Or maybe, am I lying?
It doesn't matter.
Am I lying? It do matter! It does matter! It does matter!
What do you want that you just said, yo?
I have to finish the sentence.
It does matter!
It matters to us and you. It doesn't matter what the internet says. It matters what we think. Yay.
So what do you think? Did you have an effect on my mental health?
Yes. 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 I'm saying yes. And I love you. I love you. I don't want you to be not perfect. I love you. And I want my daughter to love you the way you want her to love you.
Some individuals argue that clones being employed in the entertainment business are an open secret. They say that every time a star gets too tough for the business to handle, that person departs and then reappears seeming radically transformed. There are even allegations online that Diddy's sentence is being served by a clone. Fans contrasted his public photographs with supposedly smuggled shots from his detention cell and said the bone structure seemed different.
As a clone, apparently there's this thing spreading around where people are saying that the person that's actually in jail is not the real Diddy. Let me catch you up to speed. This is a real photo of Diddy. Notice the markings on his face? They're very prominent, and they are from the real Diddy. However, in this mugshot right here, you do not see these markings at all, so people are claiming that whoever is in jail, allegedly, supposedly, is not the real Diddy. This photo always terrified me. There's just something off about this photo. To make matters even more weird, Diddy's private jet is still flying around as we speak and making stops in various locations around the world. Just a few days ago, his private jet was spotted at Auckland Airport, a spot normally reserved for private aircraft. This is from the account Celebrity Jets. They're actually tracking P. Diddy's private jet flight path, and this is when it was landing at New Zealand. And 2 days ago, it was at Honolulu, Hawaii. This is the actual private jet that Diddy owned, and you can see him getting off this private jet here. So,
as for where the real Diddy is, some internet allegations linked to flight records suggesting that his private jet was operating on the day of his arrest and supposedly flew for the Caribbean. People also noticed that this was roughly the last time he was seen in public, which is when allegations of a clone started circulating. Joe Rogan has also been mentioned by some as addressing elite power and cloning claims. Since Diddy was one of the most prominent individuals in Hollywood, some question if a clone may be serving his sentence while he remained outside.
The explosive the footage.
According to those allegations, they pointed to characteristics like freckles and a missing tattoo on the back of his head as apparent deviations. The accusation concluded with conjecture that the actual Jamie Foxx had links to Diddy's gatherings.
Jamie Foxx ain't shit. That nigga gonna make you watch his funeral. Nigga televised his funeral. He ain't even dead. He was just up there. Let me be specific. Anything I say tonight is allegedly, bitch. I don't know shit. I just be up here talking. I love Jamie Foxx. Let me say that. I love Jamie Foxx. But his clone. His clone ain't shit. His clone kept on messing up. The clone showed up with a face full of freckles. We ain't never even seen Jamie Foxx with freckles. This clone is stupid as hell. The clone didn't even have a tattoo on the back of his head. I couldn't believe it. I watched the whole thing twice. I still don't know what had happened was. That nigga started the story with, and somebody gave me an aspirin, and 21 days later, wait a minute, what? That sounds like somebody gave you a dick. You got to be more specific, sir. I'm scared of all this. And they don't invite me nowhere because they know what the f is up. I want to see the shenanigans, my nigga, but I do not want to participate. This one I knew I was gonna fuck with Jamie. This nigga was having butt-naked basketball parties. And I love basketball. But I don't love basketball like that, bitch.
Rumors of a Jamie Foxx clone initially arose when Jamie withdrew from public view after an undisclosed health problem. To this day, Jamie has not completely stated what the health problem was or why he kept away from the public for so long. Some individuals also point to the timing, stating his disappearance appeared to tie up with key events concerning Diddy. Jamie Foxx got sick following Diddy's arrest and returned to public limelight after Diddy was sentenced, leading some to ponder if it was truly just a coincidence, an online myth-making, or do you feel something greater is occurring in Hollywood? Drop your ideas in the comments below. If you made it this far, press like, subscribe, and turn on alerts.